I'm Dave Sloan and welcome to On the Hook.
Yeah, we're getting some marks down on the bottom here, or close to it. They look like tuna marks.
Today I take out 3 young guys to get hooked up on some bluefin tuna. Now like any young fisherman, they lose focus quickly.
All right, here's the deal. If we do get a fish, Mike, you're on the rod. You want something to drink? Want something to eat?
So I decide to play the classic bucket trick.
Ready? Now. Fish on, fish on, fish on!
And watch the misery of a poor young kid as he reels in his very first bucket.
Oh my God.
Huh?
This is hard.
It isn't all fun and games though. We do end up finding some tuna to make the trip a success.
There you go, Mikey.
Beauty.
Not only do we get a couple trolling, but we also catch one of the market's newest and best spinning gear, which is always a challenge.
Booyah! Bam! Nice. Saltiga 50.
Along the way, there's always some bycatch. Our bycatch is Marone saxatilis. That's right, striped bass. Not a bad bycatch by any means, but a bycatch nonetheless. So stay hooked, we'll be right back.
All right, Chuck, so tell me, I know we got some dead pogies here. What are we doing? What's the method?
Well, we're just bouncing the dead pogies off the bottom with 8 ounces of weight in front of them and hoping the bass eat them up.
Yeah, so just trying to maintain the bottom.
You feel a little peck on it and just give them time to eat it. You don't want to set right back on them. Basically, we're fishing over a rocky hump right here and fish are holding in the structure.
What about tide? Is there a better tide?
Yeah, the tide's not really running very hard right now. I'd like the tide to run a little harder.
We have a storm front coming in, and anytime you have a storm front coming in, the fish get real finicky. We start out the day, we're using live pogies, they're not biting those. Then we end up trying dead pogies or chunked up pogies with big chunks, they're not biting that either. We finally figure out that in order to get these finicky bass to bite, we're gonna drop those baits straight down on the bottom, right where those fish are, and that's gonna do the trick.
Slack water is always the worst time for bass fishing.
We'll plug through it because we have pros.
Exactly.
Now, can the Daiwa gear help through a slack tide, Eric? Definitely, that's what I thought.
Is that a trick question?
If you think I have a good job, Eric Maitland from Daiwa probably has even a better one. He gets to travel all over, fishing some great areas with some unbelievable Daiwa gear.
Santini, put no hurt to him, baby.
Well, I guess you don't need a soft rod, do you, Pete? Okay, get the gaff and net, whatever you want. Okay, so this is the first fish on the dog bite. Peter Santini.
Mr. Pete Santini got himself a fish.
We get to our spot, we set up, and we're on a hump, and we mark some fish down the bottom, and everyone's kind of scoping out which rod they're going to take, and Pete Santini ends up sniping the dogfight, the best rod on the boat.
What's the technique here, Pete?
Just jig it up slow, let it bounce. Hit the bottom and lift it up really slow. They bite very light too, Dave.
Yeah?
It'll feel like you're almost stuck in the bottom. That'll be the fish.
All right, Eric, talk to me about this dogfight reel. I've read about it before it even was introduced into the States.
Yeah, well, it's a reel that's been available for quite a few years in Japan, and there's a lot of interest in it because of the 2 things: the speed of it, 51 inches of crank per handle turn, and also that has 60 to 66 pounds of drag. So it's just a cranking machine. Yeah,
that's a brute right there. I mean, I don't know if you ever be able to put 66 pounds of drag on it, but
I don't want to be the person that has to test that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Look at you, Santini. Still on.
Pete's got the hot hand.
Technique.
Pete Santini owns the harbor, along with Chuck. And I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. Not a bad fish. Pete, you know the reel there, you guys, is a pretty bad reel. And bad meaning good, like cool reel.
Looks like it's very versatile. We can use it for, like you said, bluefin tuna, bluefish, bass.
I don't think the average guy is going to buy that for bass and bluefish.
This is for the guy that wants one of the best around, you know.
Well, the guys in the Cape Cod Canal have been fishing that reel for about 3 or 4 years, and there's a real niche following already for it.
But when he put it down to take a rest or whatever he was doing, I took it.
Oh, I'm getting little taps here. There you go. He's on.
And I hook up.
See what happens? As soon as Pete gives me the reel, I get the touch, I set up on him, and I catch him. It's a good fish. I'll tell you what though, Eric, that is a smooth rod. I mean reel, huh?
Yeah, they get
Absolutely smooth. Another good fish though inside the harbor here. Easy, buddy, easy. There you go. Another good one.
Dog fight.
It's a good reel. All right, well there you go. We got a couple of bass on this nice Daiwa gear, but hey, stay hooked because when we come back, we're gonna go outside the harbor out to Stellwagen Bank. We're gonna try to put some tuna in the boat on this nice Daiwa gear.
Look at the size of these. Yeah, give me a I want to get a picture of him.
Mike has got the first fish of the day. We're gonna put this bucket on a 50 and he's gonna reel it in.
Oh my god.
Huh?
This is hard.
More stripers. On some plastics. Another nice big fatty.
We put out our live pogies. We're still getting big bass.
I'm telling you. How about
There you go. That's easier. As Chuck always says, Daiwa gear. Get the gear, get the fish.
Booyah!
Day's starting out great. We're getting big bass inside the harbor. But it's time now to take it outside and get some big bluefin tuna on it. But guess what? The bass, they won't leave us alone. Some days you can't catch them. This day we couldn't get away from them.
That's a big fish though.
Yeah! That's a nice 44-inch fish.
We're on Stellwagen. We're looking for big tuna. The bass are so aggressive and so thick out there that they don't mind the fact that we're using a 130-pound leader. We got 9 and 10 odd hooks. The fish are so aggressive. They're really getting in the way. Not a bad bycatch, but keep in mind, outside that 3-mile mark, you cannot keep these bass. You got to throw those back in.
That's a big fish though.
That's a
Bye-bye.
nice fish. Nice dropper release. Must learn that from Charlie.
It's too heavy, man. I can't pick him up. The good thing is we released him. He was off to the right of the balloon though. He wasn't right on the balloon.
There he is. There he is.
Let him eat it. Turn that rod.
Ah, right there, right there, right there.
That's a bass.
Oh, yeah.
You got him, Eric?
Yeah.
I think you got to put 60 pounds of drag on that thing for that bass. Wow, that's a big fish too, man. Look at this.
How do you like the clock top of bass there?
Yeah, come over here. There you go. Hold on, Pete.
Good job,
Look at that,
dude.
huh? When you can stuff your hand down a
can't
bass,
get
and
my hand.
my hands aren't that little.
Finally, we have a little bit of luck. Not only do we get the fish that we're looking for, the big bluefin tuna, but we also get it on the rod that we wanted. We get it on the dog fight. It's a lot of fun getting bass out there. You know, anytime you're getting big bass, it's a lot of fun. You're getting them on the dogfight reel mostly though, and you know that dogfight reel is a really good reel obviously, but it's not meant for bass. I mean, yeah, you can reel in, you know, bass and have a lot of fun. It's a smooth reel, but bluefin tuna is really what this reel is made for.
Circling now.
Eric's a big guy. He fought that fish for a long time. Nice fish. Stick him now! It was pretty funny hearing him scream out, "Stick him now! Stick him now!" Ah! You could tell he wanted that fish off the hook.
Booyah!
Now you think we might be doing some bass fishing? This is a perfect bass rod, but guess what? We're gonna take this Saltiga 50, we're gonna put it to the test with some bluefin tuna. How much line you get on this thing?
A lot more than those spinner reels.
Really?
That's 80 braid, and I'll guarantee it was all 600 yards.
Oh, really? I think we're gonna need it. So we wanted to get some on light tackle, right? If I started plucking this line, I could play like a guitar. It's so tight right now.
Hang on.
Right here, right here.
Bam! Saltiga 50. All right, well, as you saw, we got the fish that I had on. We got that fish up. Took about 45 minutes. That fish measured out at 65 inches. There's 22 pounds of drag on that Saltiga 50. That's more than enough for these fish. Can really put a lot of pain and a lot of pressure on the fish, but it really comes down to the angler and how he handles it.
What do you think that is? 40 pounder? Hold them sideways, Pete. No, I want to get a scale on that thing. What?
Everyone's having ice cream. Mike's working hard.
And he inhaled it. I mean, that's like a 3-ounce lead head.
For them to hit big, giant jig heads like this, 5-6 ounce jig heads, that tells me they're pretty aggressive.
Look at the size of these. Give me a sluggo.
I want to get a picture of him.
As you can see, the bass are crashing pogies like crazy.
On this trip, just like the last trip, we're looking for tuna. But again, just like the other trip, we're getting big, big bass.
The reason we're using the 50 today is because we forgot all the light gear at home.
This is the light gear. We got such big bass out here, we got to use 50s.
We're on Stellwagen, we're looking for big tuna. The bass are so aggressive and so thick out there that they don't mind the fact that we're using a 130-pound leader. We got 9 and 10 odd hooks. The fish are so aggressive, they're just chowing down our live pogies. It's not such a bad bycatch, but again, we're outside that 3-mile mark, and I can't say it enough, you gotta make sure that you release these fish.
The old heave-ho release.
What do you got there?
Look at the size of that.
Look at the size of these.
That is a fat one. Gosh. Scotty, that's a big fatty. Get a scale on that thing. What do you think that is? 40 pounder? Hold them sideways, Pete. No, I want to get a scale on that thing. What? Come on, I want to weigh that fat pig.
We end that trip without getting a tuna, but we got plenty of big bass. Unfortunately, we go home with nothing because we have to release them. But I'll tell you what it does. It makes me want to go back out the next day. So I take out my brother, go back out on my boat, same area, looking for tuna.
Yeah, we're getting some marks down on the bottom here, or close to it. They look like tuna marks, so I'm dropping down a gigantic bullet lead head with a sluggo on it.
But guess what? More bass.
As I'm just trying to jig it up and reel it up, I'm picking up some bass.
I know I'm making it sound like it's a nuisance that we're catching all these bass, and it kind of is when you're looking for tuna, but let me tell you something. Catching all those bass one after another, that's a dream. That's a pretty fun day when you can stretch a line on big, big bass like that.
It's illegal if you fish for them. We're fishing for tuna. Bycatch is big bass. As long as you throw them back and don't fish specifically for them, they'll be fine. This is a tuna rod. I mean, I just got these rods from Ocean Tackle International. Awesome rods, awesome tuna rods if you're casting a tuna. And I mean, these bass are still taking a lot of drag on this reel, big reel BG30 Daiwa. This rod right here is an 80 class rod. Big bass following them too. Every time we pull in these fish, they always have at least 1 or 2 big followers.
You hear people talk, and I do it as well. You hear them talk all the time about, bass are not that aggressive, and for the most part, they're not. But when they're keyed in on a bait, and when they're feeding either in the spring or in the fall, getting ready to migrate, there's nothing more aggressive than a hungry striped bass. When he wants to get his bait, he's gonna get him.
I mean, look at the size of that lead head. Trying to get down deep, and he inhaled it. I mean, that's like a 3-ounce lead head.
For them to hit big, giant jig heads like this, 5-6 ounce jig heads, that tells me they're pretty aggressive.
That's a big lead head. And these fish aren't even giant. Or I'm just weak, I can't hold them.
One after another, we're releasing these fish. You know what? Lifting 30, 40 pounds one after another, it's kind of hard. They're heavy.
We got one of the old line sides.
Now it's John's turn to play.
Either that or a giant flounder.
That is a tuna rod, by the way. You got the piece on the front for the belt, just to prove we are tuna fishing.
Dynamite.
Good sized bass right here. Sluggo. Come here, boy. Come on, big boy. Whoa, he's trying to cut me. Sluggo.
Not a bad fishy right there, but you know what? I'm on Stellwagen Bank, and you cannot fish for these. I'm trying to catch a tuna. So you, my friend, I'll see you inshore. Bye-bye.
Got a nibble.
Just another 30-pound
Boy, small one.
These are actually becoming a nuisance at this point.
There's an old saying in fishing that you never leave fish to go find fish. Unfortunately, these were not the fish that we were looking for.
I'm thinking we should move.
Yeah, you know what, it was time to make a move, but I think it was time to make a move for the barn.
Whale right there, nice.
We're gonna put this bucket on a 50, and he's gonna reel it in.
Pulling. It's a bucket.
What?
Look at it. It's a bucket. You had to.
From time to time, I get asked to go out with some guys that I know and put their kids on some fish. And on this trip, we go bluefin tuna fishing. Big boat, beautiful day. Should be a good one.
You ever got a tuna before?
No. Probably
Okay.
Not.
How do you not know?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Dad, have I ever caught a tuna? Okay, there's your answer.
What do you say?
No.
No?
Yep.
All right, here's the deal. If we do get a fish, Mike, you're on the rod.
All right.
All right? You're on, whatever rod goes off, just get on the rod. Just
Yeah.
pick it up.
Yep. Hey, you want something to drink? Want something to eat?
I just give him some instruction, and what does he do? He runs back into the salon, he gets himself a drink, he gets everyone their snacks and everything. Does he ask me for anything? No. So you know what? It's time for some payback, Mike.
Mike has got the first fish of the day. He's in there playing Xbox right now, completely not paying attention. We're gonna put this bucket on a 50, and he's gonna reel it in. Ready? Now. Fish on, fish on, fish on! Mike! Get the belt, get the belt. All right, out of gear if you can. How's he doing?
Oh my god.
Huh?
This is hard.
Is it pulling you? You gonna go overboard?
It's pulling.
How's that ice cream? Everyone's having ice cream. Mike's working hard.
Ice cream. He's inside the salon eating ice cream. I don't even. What?
There you go. Look,
My arm's gonna.
huh?
My arm's.
You know what? You're using too much of your arm. If you let this thing go, see these right here? So don't use your arm so much.
Yeah.
You gotta bend your knees
Yeah.
and drop your butt down, and that's how you pull back on him. Don't
Yeah.
use your arm so much. You'll tire yourself out. Always keep
All
these
right.
things
Oh,
nice
yeah.
and tight. There you go. You see that?
Yep.
Different?
Yep.
Drop your butt, and your weight will pull the rod back.
Yep.
You gaining line on him?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, I saw it. They saw it again.
Oh, I see him.
Yep.
He doesn't see it because it's not there.
Yep. I saw it.
Give me an M. Give me an I.
Stop.
Give me a K. Give me an E.
He's coming towards the boat. He's coming
There you
towards the
go.
boat.
Thanks. That's all right. He's gonna do a big circle because we got that engine problem. I think he's giving it. You can see the white belly on him. He's coming up. He's rolling over.
You can see him every once in a while.
Yeah, it's his belly. Every now and then you can see his belly roll up. The white of his belly. It's the white belly of the fish that rolls up.
Oh, there he goes. Running off.
Mikey, see, persistent
This is
pays off,
hard.
right?
Yeah.
By persistence, I mean playing Xbox, eating ice cream, taking 45-minute naps while I sweat.
It's a long way to go.
This could be a record fish. The girls in your school are gonna love you for this. Drop the
All right,
tip and
it's
reel. There
coming
you go.
towards us again. Looks like a bucket.
What?
Looks like a bucket.
What are you talking about?
The white.
Yeah.
Wait, doesn't it look like a bucket?
I'll leader him. Who wants to gaff it?
It's a
Looks like
bucket.
What?
Look at it. It's a bucket.
What are you talking about?
Look. It's a bucket.
It's not a bucket.
It's a bucket.
It's a bucket fish?
You had to tool.
Yeah, success.
Look at the sweat. Look at the sweat on the
Screw you guys.
Mike got a bucket fish.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. You get a good fight though. Gaff it. Nice shot.
Oh, yeah.
His first bucket.
You know, that poor kid, he did work hard on that bucket, worked real hard, and it was hot. He probably does deserve a nap. No, he doesn't. No nap. There's more fish coming up.
Let's go, fish on, come on. Wake up, hello.
Get up, Mike. Wake up.
There you go, Mikey. Morning, Mike. That's your fish right here, you know.
Hey, you know, he wouldn't wake up, and you snooze, you lose. Mike number 2 jumped on it. Good for him.
Ah, there you go. You're gonna have to start gaining on this fish at some point. He hit it the first time. He moved it the first time and didn't move. It was a big boil, so I don't know if it was two coming at it.
At this point, I'm wondering if we should tell him now it's another bucket. Just kidding.
Little whale right there, nice. Little gear, little gear. Start to walk back. A little, that's all. Yeah!
That's it.
Nice little fish.
Beauty.
Ha ha, Mike! Ha ha! There's you go, Mike.
After the whole bucket trick with Mike, I felt really bad. And seeing the look on his face when Mike number 2 reeled in his fish and that fish hit the deck, I felt really bad for him. But the good thing is, thank God, we got another fish and it was Mike's turn now.
This is a real fish, I promise. If you let go, let your hands go.
3 hours, 4 or 5 naps later, he forgets his instructions.
So use your back. What you want to do is almost sit down and like let your weight pull it back.
Wait.
And if it ain't coming, you gotta wash the line too. Listen, you gotta move the line back and forth. Yeah, he's got him. Because if the line gets too tight on one side and too bulky, it's gonna hit the reel. Isn't this better than sleeping?
Someday.
Mike wakes up, takes the fish, he'll catch a fish, and go back to sleep.
You're not gonna let the fish get the best of you, are you? No.
Reel. You gotta reel these down there. This is the one with the long stinger. Oh yeah. Coming up. Oh, there he goes.
Walk forward and reel a little more. Get right up to the...
Yeah! Oh, he's at the side.
Yeah, Mike! Yeah!
You know, after everything we put him through and after all the ribbing, I was really, really excited to see him get that fish. He's a good kid and I was really psyched for him.
Bigger than I expected, though. I didn't think he'd be that big.
High fives all around. High fives. Yeah!
And where does he go? Right back to bed. This time with a partner.
Mike and his lover heading off after a long night.